Namaste. Hi, everybody. This is Sasha Segan and Matt Buzzy with PCMag.com here on One Cool Thing, our daily show on Facebook where we show you one cool thing that we are testing out in the PC Mag Labs. Now, of course, my little exercise joke from just now is because what we have here is this the latest Lenovo Yoga laptop?
This is in the Yoga 9 line. Yes,
okay.
This is the latest and greatest.
Okay, so what we have here is a Lenovo Yoga laptop.
Yoga 920.
Yes, yes, and of course we have Social Pete over there on the con. I was almost too relaxed to mention him, but he is taking your comments and questions about laptops, desktops, phones, tablets, anything that we might know anything about Matt's build project yesterday, which was gorgeous, okay? If you did not see this live stream yesterday about the build that these guys were doing, oh my goodness, it is over there. You can't see it on camera right now, but it is truly a work of art. Going to this, I guess, more mass-produced work of art here, what do we have here in the Yoga 920 laptop?
This is, as you can see from its size, thinness, lightness, is a great portable, travel, ultra-portable laptop. It's convertible, as the Yoga line is known to be.
That's kind of what makes it a Yoga,
name,
right?
Yes. Yeah. These have gotten thinner, lighter, and better, just year on year. This neat watch band-like hinge is kind of a point of interest.
And of course, I feel like the big feature here is that now it can be said that if you do a lot of yoga, it will increase your endurance and stamina in life.
I see where you're going.
And that holds true with this laptop as well, right?
Yes. So perhaps unexpectedly, the battery life was just, I mean, it's usually good on these, but it's like best in class. 22 hours on a rundown test.
Whoa!
Which is playing a video over and over. We have the standards of what the battery test entails in the review, but
it's pumping the screen, but not the processor.
Yeah. It's a 1080p display. I'll run through the specs. 1080p display. A new Core i7 processor, so it's 8th gen, but it's not Coffee Lake. It's Kaby Lake R. Which is
so it's like Kaby Lake for pirates?
Kaby Lake for pirates, yeah.
Okay.
It's a refresh. It's faster than normal Kaby Lake, not quite Coffee Lake, but it did really well in the benchmarks. It was faster than the Mac Pro, faster than the Dell XPS 13. It was kind of just the best all around in terms of performance, and so it's already a choice.
And I feel like this the battery life has to be tied to the fact that now what's the screen size here?
It's 13.9 inches.
It's 13.9, but it's only 1080p.
Right.
And so that will take less power and extend that battery.
Yeah, the higher resolution you go up, the more it drains. 4K screens definitely run shorter on our tests, but it still looks sharp. It's a touch display. Obviously, you'd want that if you're going to convert it into a tablet. It feels good. There is this $60 optional pen, which does have, the way you store it is kind of lame. That kind of mars the nice build because it goes into the USB port like a little holder.
Huh.
But
does that charge the pen? Does the pen need charging?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
So.
And this is pressure sensitive, N-trig technology, angle sensitive, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, all the good jazz.
Okay. Hey, it looks like we already have questions.
Is there a docking station for this?
It's a good question. I don't actually know. Lenovo makes docks, so
hang on, let me look at the bottom.
Presumably one that works.
Okay, so there's no
built-in dock like a ThinkPad.
There's no standard ThinkPad docking port, but what immediately comes to mind is that if you look on the side here, we have two USB-C Thunderbolt ports, one with power delivery. And there are a whole bunch of really, better and better Thunderbolt docks out there right now. We have a couple in inventory. I think CalDigit makes a really good Thunderbolt dock.
Yeah, there's docks in terms of that sense that you can do any USB or Thunderbolt 3 dock. Not like a built-in ThinkPad one, if that's what you're
right, but to multiply the ports, to multiply the video ports, to convert things to a full-size display port or HDMI, because once more, like this being ultra-thin and ultra-light, it's a little short on ports.
Yeah, a little short on ports, but it has a standard 3.0 port, which a lot of these thin, like the MacBooks, a lot of these thin laptops don't have, and they make you only go USB-C, which can be irritating for peripherals that don't use those. I believe both of these charge. Both of the USB-C
So both of those
ports.
are PD.
Both of those are charged. Both are Thunderbolt 3.
But the major port I see missing is any kind of display out.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're gonna have to do some Thunderbolt daisy chaining or docking to make that happen.
Yeah. Now, what kind of storage do we have in here?
It has a 256 gigabyte SSD, which isn't a ton, but that's actually it's surprisingly standard for even these pricey systems because adding more SSD storage gets expensive very quickly.
Can you spec that up?
You can also upgrade after. It is sort of an affair to like get the bottom off and do the thing. So maybe when you're ordering, just order more. Same for the RAM, which is only 8 gigs in this configuration. This is 1330 as configured with the 256 and with the 8 gigs, which is a little more than the MacBook Pro 13-inch. But it has a touchscreen. The battery's better. It runs a lot faster. So
it bends in a way that if you tried to bend a MacBook Pro in that way, you
will
would be
break very
deeply
quickly.
disappointed.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's take another question.
Did you say there's no HDMI port?
No. So what? All
so
you
your
get.
USB 3 on this side.
Yeah.
And then USB-C and USB-C.
2 USB-C, but these are USB-C Thunderbolt with power delivery, so
Yeah.
at least they're the best possible USB-C ports.
Yep. Other than that, it feels well made. It's a nice material. The keyboard's very comfortable. Lenovo pretty much always makes pretty cozy keyboards.
We've got, is this a fingerprint sensor over there?
No, not signed in. But
Okay.
yes, that's what that is.
And so does this have, I know some Lenovo laptops have some kind of more intense enterprise security features. Are those available here?
I don't think so by default. Maybe? I don't think so.
Okay. So now this is our editor's choice in which category?
This would be ultra portables. This would be the high-end ultra portables. This
High-end
goes
ultra
against your.
portables,
This
okay.
goes against your MacBook Pros, your Dell XPSs. It replaced the HP Spectre X360 13 as our editor's choice. That's a good system, but this just has a beat on battery life. The one we tested in particular was a 4K version, so the battery life's like 8 hours, 7 hours, not 22. So yeah, it's the high end. These are kind of the fancy ones that you're spending a little more on.
And now I do find it interesting that like you guys decided that the extended battery life is more important than having a 4K screen.
I think on that screen size, 4K only goes so far. It adds to the cost. It drains the power. If inherent in an ultra portable is something you're going to take with you and use on the road, you're going to use on a plane, you can't always charge it, and you have to be monitoring the battery life even if you're just watching Netflix on your plane. It's a consideration when it's that much higher.
And there's a certain level of pixel density beyond which like you can't really perceive it at arm's length.
Sure, yeah.
Like laptop screens don't have to be as high pixel density as phone screens because you're not looking at them like this. Or if you are, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, and I would say QHD maybe you could argue is a sweet spot, somewhere in between QHD, QHD plus, but 4K you don't need in a lot of circumstances, especially when the screen's that size.
Let's take another question.
How are the loading times?
To boot and stuff, it's really fast. It's an SSD, and the new processor is really snappy. It was the best. It was the best performance on the multimedia tests, like doing Handbrake video encoding and Photoshop filters. It had one of the higher scores in the PC Mark general productivity test.
Now, once again, we are being saved a little by the 1080p screen. But what's the GPU situation?
GPU is integrated. They all suck at doing 3D stuff in gaming.
Okay.
All these laptops are not really equipped. The MacBook Pro, the Iris is like a little bit better, but that's all the numbers that are approaching playable frame rates that are running at 720p. If you go even to 1080p or higher, you're not nothing runs smoothly as far as gaming.
Now, does KB Lake R improve the GPU at all?
I think it might be a bump up, but again, it's integrated, and it is only so much of an improvement that you're getting. It's not going to change the class of games you can really play. Just make it a little better.
But as you said, like as you said, the Iris, what is Iris 3000 in the MacBook Pro?
That sounds right.
Yeah. The Iris in the MacBook Pro at least is the best category of integrated graphics you can get right now.
Yeah, it does a little better. It approaches 30 frames, but again at 720p, which no one really wants to play on. So you can play simple stuff.
Now, do you find when you're using these kinds of laptops, do you find yourself using the touchscreen a lot? Is that something you turn to?
I do when I'm using it. You do more than you think you do. I think when you then have it removed after you've been using one, you kind of realize you poke at the screen every now and then in a way.
I've had that when switching from, longtime viewers will know that my primary computer is a Surface Book, and however, I've been traveling occasionally with a 12-inch MacBook because it weighs 0 pounds.
Sure.
And I have been finding myself unconsciously poking at the screen from time to time.
Yeah, especially if you have it on your lap or using it on the go or whatever. It's just sometimes easier because you're balancing already and you don't want to like do the touchpad thing. And then you realize you can't do it, especially too if you're going to be on a plane and you flip. Because on my favorite plane form has become this because. Yes, you could do this on the tray, but the person's seat is here.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it keeps going like this.
Yeah, especially if they lean back. So
I can't
this puts the screen by you, and then you can just navigate Netflix like that.
Yeah, or here's something really, really weird that you could do. Okay, if you have a Bluetooth keyboard, you can put your keyboard in your lap, and then you have like all this like virtual space. Especially if you can touch type, you touch type down here, and you don't have to worry about that whole thing with like the person coming back at you from the next seat. We have another question.
How is the audio and webcam?
I was just, wow, read my mind, because the speakers are right here looking at me, and I was just going to make a note about that. Because they're downward facing, they're JBL speakers, they're pretty nice.
Kind of downward dog.
Kind of downward dog, if you will.
Yeah.
Facing down into the table, they can get muffled a bit if you're using it in the sort of standard layout, because the speakers are here. So there's that.
So not great.
They're decent quality, but they kind of muffle themselves by just virtue of where they are.
Yeah, at least there's a standard headphone jack.
Yes, there's a headphone jack. The webcam, I think it's 720p. I'm not sure. It's not nostril cam though. You got that going for you.
It's at least forehead cam.
Yeah.
Which you know we all work very well with.
Some manufacturers have made a point in meetings, I will not name names, to point out that they don't have the nostril cam that a certain other competitor does. They've gone to many mentions in meetings about how they do not have nostril cam, and even though there's thin bezels, they can put it on the top, unlike some other companies.
Okay.
Wink.
And now since this comes with a USB-C charger and brick, now you can charge this over anything that does USB-C power delivery, right? There's no longer, you don't have to worry about proprietary charger ports anymore.
Yeah, which is, it's nice.
Yeah, that's really helpful, especially since I see, once more, a thing about the frequent traveler. We've been seeing more and more of these large capacity USB-C backup batteries. And so if you have one of those, you can you actually run your laptop off one of those, I wonder?
For some time, probably. Yeah, I think so.
Do we have any more questions out there?
Do you have to use Lenovo's stylus?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if others work.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
This is optional, so you do have to purchase this, $60. That's a good question, though. I'm not
It's not a standard capacitive stylus, though.
Yeah.
It is.
Now it's
It
gone.
is Entrig, I believe. So it is a special touch-sensitive technology. You're not going to be able to do this with just a random capacitive stylus.
Yeah. But I do wonder if like the Surface Pen would work with this.
I do wonder. Well, yeah, I mean, I've got a Surface
go
Pen
try
back
it
there. We
out.
can try it after the show. Any more questions out there?
I think we're set.
Okay. So we've got this Lenovo Yoga 920, 4.5 stars. Editor's choice starts at 1,300.
1330 is this one? Yeah.
1330. And it will last you on that nonstop flight from Newark to Singapore, the longest scheduled commercial airline flight in the world. You will be happily tapping and watching Netflix the entire time, as long as it's downloaded Netflix.
Yes.
I don't know how
Yeah, don't be streaming.
connectivity
if you're
is.
going to be using the Wi-Fi and chunking up data, then that's a different story. I think.
Exactly,
But
exactly.
still long.
But yes, thank you very much, Lenovo Yoga 920. This has been One Cool Thing with PCMag.com. It is successfully Friday today, so we will see you on Monday at 10 a.m. for another cool thing. Have a great weekend.